Did anyone see this? Just a few days ago, Trump signed an executive order that quietly starts replacing how 56 million Americans are supposed to retire. And its main goal is to secretly replace the 401k as we know it. It's called the Trump IRA, and it goes live January 1st, 2027. So as a tax strategist at keepmost.com, I want to show you exactly what changed, who it affects, and most importantly, what you need to do before the rest of America figures this out. And to do that, let me start with the 401k itself. Think about what a 401k actually requires. It requires you to work for a company that decided to offer one. You don't get to choose it. You don't get to shop for it. Your employer picks the plan, picks the funds, picks the fees, and you get whatever they decided. You see, 56 million workers have employers who decided nothing. Contractors, part-timers, gig workers, small business employees, 56 million people who go to work every day and come home with zero access to a tax advantage retirement account. Now, that number is from AARP and it's confirmed by the Pew Charitable Trust. But that's for the people who do not have a 401k. What about those who do have one? Well, the average plan in 2025 was charging fees of 1.26%. That number is from Kiplinger. More than a full percentage point every year quietly draining that account, going into the hands of money managers who run the 401k plans. And most people in 401ks have never looked up the expense ratio on their funds. And most of them are paying far more than they should. You see, the 401k is a product that's built around employers. So when you leave a job, the account gets complicated. It's not yours in the clean, portable way a bank account is yours. The whole architect of a 401k is tied to employment, which means every time someone quits, gets laid off, or changes a career, the system creates friction that causes people to cash out, roll over the wrong thing, or just lose track of the money altogether. And by the way, if you want the master list of 90 plus deductions and credits that can help you save on taxes that the best CPAs know but don't share, head to keepmost.com. I have a complete list there for you and a set of playbooks that fit your exact situation. So what did Trump actually do to replace the 401k? Well, on April 30th, Trump signed an executive order that creates TrumpIRA.gov. You see, TrumpIRA.gov is a comparison portal. You want to think of it like a marketplace. You go to the website, you browse private sector IRA options that have been pre-vetted by the Treasury Department, and then you enroll. And the accounts are held by private financial institutions like Vanguard, Fidelity, or whoever ends up listed on the site. Now, the government doesn't hold your money, but they set the rules for who gets to be on the platform. And those rules are actually very important. You see, any account listed on TrumpIRA.gov has to carry a fee cap of 0.15% or lower. Remember, the average 401k is charging 1.26%. On $100,000 invested over 20 years at 7% annual returns, the gap between 1.26% in fees and 0.15% in fees costs you roughly $40,000. So that's not a small number, right? That's a car, that is a year of retirement income for some people. And that is money that was supposed to be yours, sitting in an account with your name on it, walking out the door every year to pay for someone else's bonus. So 0.15% is where Vanguard's index funds already live. It's where Fidelity's percentage already is. And those options have existed for years now. But most people in expensive 401k plans have never been pointed towards them because nobody built the comparison tool. No one showed you their options, like here are the fees, and here's what that is going to cost you over a lifetime. That's what this website is supposed to be. And the best part is that there's no minimum contributions required either. You can open an account for $5 and it's not tied to your employer. It's yours fully, whether you stay at your job today or leave tomorrow, which makes it portable in a way a 401k has never been. Now, here's the part of this that I find actually interesting. You see, the executive order connects these accounts to something called the Savers Match, which kicks in January 2027. So here's how it works. You contribute money to a qualifying retirement account, and the federal government matches 50 cents for every dollar up to $1,000 per year. So to get the full match, you have to put in $2,000. So single filers earning under $20,500 get the full match and then it phases out at $35,500. Now, married couples just double it, right? You get up to $41,000 in household income, and it phases out at $71,000. And the number of people that qualify for that is around 22 million Americans. Here's the thing though, the Savers Match was already law. It passed in 2022. Biden signed it, and it was part of a bipartisan bill called Secure 2.0. Now, what this executive order does is direct the Treasury Department to actually implement it and build the infrastructure to connect the 22 million people who qualify to accounts that they can use with it. And the match isn't new, but what makes it work actually is. And it explains why the previous version of this actually failed. You see, before this, there was something called the Savers Credit. It was the same idea on paper, but totally different in reality. It was a non-refundable tax credit, which means you only got the value from it if you owed federal taxes. But let's think about that for a second, because most of the low-income workers it was supposed to help typically owe little or nothing. So for years, the credit delivered essentially nothing to the exact people it was designed for. Now, I've covered retirement accounts for a long time and barely mentioned it because there was almost nothing to say. It worked for almost nobody. The Savers Match actually fixes the fundamental design flaw here. The government's contribution goes directly into the retirement account, not onto a tax form into the account. So I want you to think about what that actually means here. It means a 29-year-old earning $26,000 a year who never had access to a 401k in her life, she gets to open up an account on TrumpIRA.gov, contributes $2,000, and the federal government drops another $1,000 into her account. And she does that every single year she qualifies. So what does that mean? Well, invested in a broad index fund at 0.15% fees for 35 years. That is a retirement that did not exist for her before this. So now I know what you're thinking, right? Where's the catch? Well, here it is. An executive order cannot create new spending. It cannot expand programs beyond what Congress already authorized. So everything in this order works because Secure 2.0 was already passed. The money for the Savers Match was already legislated. So Trump can direct Treasury to build the website. Trump can set fee standards for listed accounts, but Trump cannot unilaterally force all employers to offer retirement plans, expand the income thresholds, or transform the entire architecture of America retirement without congressional votes. Experts say that congressional action is still needed for the bigger structural changes here. And none of this is actually live yet, right? TrumpIRA.gov does not exist today. And the Savers Match doesn't start until 2027. So if you're waiting for this to show up in your account before you take any action, you're going to wait and forget and watch 2027 come and go without actually doing a thing about it. Which brings me to what you can actually do right now. If you don't have a retirement account, open a Roth IRA this week. Not when TrumpIRA.gov launches, not when you feel more ready. Fidelity has 0 account minimums. You can open with $1 and set up a small automatic monthly contribution. It takes about 20 minutes. And the accounts that Trump's platform will eventually list are the same accounts that already exist at Fidelity and Vanguard today. You don't need a government website to access them. If you think you qualify for the Savers Match, right, under $35,500 single or under $71,000 married filing jointly, then start building toward the $2,000 a year in contributions right now. That's about $167 a month. And you want to work backwards from that, because in 2027, there's $1,000 sitting there for you every single year. And the only way you collect it is if you're already contributing. So build the habit now, be set up when January 2027 arrives. If you have a 401k, go look at your expense ratios today. Log into your account, find every fund that you're in, and find the column that says expense ratio. If anything is above 0.5%, you're paying a fee that's quietly compounding against you for decades. And most 401k plans have low-cost index fund options sitting right next to the expensive ones, except nobody sent you an email telling you to pick them. So now is your chance. The 401k was built for a labor market that no longer exists. full-time employees with stable employers who stay for decades. 56 million people are working outside that structure and have been quietly locked out of the retirement system because of it. This doesn't fix all of that, but it's a real chance that hasn't been there for a very long time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and make sure you like the video. It truly helps it to reach a lot more people that actually need this information. My name is Karan, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.